Hello, and welcome to the 91st Oscar show.
Is it the 91st Oscar?
Well,
no, it's the Academy Awards show coming up.
This technically isn't the Oscar show.
No, I'm not gold and plated.
Our Oscar show. Sort of.
Although you might have the body shape of an Oscar.
No, I'm not built like Oscar.
Maybe it's just your head.
If they were giving away golden bowling balls, then maybe. But I'm not built like Oscar.
Welcome to the next Udder Twaddle Podcast, which is what this is.
Yes.
And I'm Cowpatty.
I'm Cowmando.
And go ahead.
No.
And we're going to talk over each other this time.
Yeah, apparently. No? This weekend is the Oscars, I believe.
Yes, that's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
So, everybody does those prediction shows and stuff. We're not going to do necessarily a prediction show. We're just going to do a commentary.
Well, we are movie buffs, as I'm sure you know if you've been following along the shows.
Yes.
We love going to movies.
It would be my pastime if I had infinite amounts of money.
And we try and watch the Oscars every year. We try and watch the Golden Globes when we remember that they're on. And
yeah, sometimes I forget which award shows are coming on when, and the Grammys just went right over my head.
We'll watch the Grammys whenever we know they're on. The Academy of Country Music Awards. Any of those type of music award shows, movie award shows, because we like movies.
I get respect for talented people.
Yes.
It's just one of those things.
And we like the Oscars, but we have some complaints about the Oscars.
Should we get into that right this second before we get into the list of people that are nominated? Or just start with the nominations and then kind of go into the list of why things bug us?
Either way, we can go through, the current categories and then cover, our complaints about the categories.
Well, before we read them off,
suggestions.
The one complaint I talked to you about recently was that there's not enough diversity in the nominations of movies. As we read these off, you're going to see kind of repeats as you go along.
Yeah. And that's one of the complaints we'll discuss.
I understand certain movies are amazing, and so you want to nominate the most amazing people and the most amazing people involved in amazing movies.
Yes.
But there becomes a redundancy after a while.
I will go ahead and say up front, going through these lists of nominees, we're probably going to get names pronounced incorrectly.
I will try to pronounce them correctly, but that doesn't mean I've researched every single name.
There's going to be some pronounced wrong, some movie titles, especially when it comes to the foreign categories, that will be pronounced wrong.
So just forgive us a little bit on that.
Apologize in advance.
It is not meant with any disrespect whatsoever.
No.
It's just, we don't know any better.
No, believe me, if I'm making fun of somebody's name or a movie's name, it's going to be quite obvious.
Yes.
Kind of overt about it.
Well, you start with the actors.
Okay, then we can...
Since you're a guy,
Am I?
Well, you're a cow. Whatever.
Yeah. You've been peeking again. Okay, we'll start off with the first category. Actor in a leading role.
Okay.
Let's see. Christian Bale is nominated for Vice.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born. Mm-hmm. Willem Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate. Mm-hmm. And is it Rami?
It's Rami
Malek mm-hmm. for Bohemian Rhapsody. And Viggo Mortensen for Green Book.
Okay. And of these, the one we want to win, we agree, is Rami Malek.
Is Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. Granted, out of this category, that is the only one of the movies we actually got around to seeing. We wanted to see Green Book, never actually got a chance to go see it.
I know for a fact that Bradley Cooper is an amazing freaking actor. I had everything I've seen him in. He's amazing.
A Star Is Born looks interesting. Again, another one that we never got around to seeing because other movies came out that were
precedence.
Yeah, kind of a higher priority on those weekends, and we never got back around to seeing, these secondary or tertiary choices.
We sort of have a pattern of decision making when it comes to movies, and that's just kind of our habit of going, okay, we have to see this now.
Yes.
We could see it
certain
later.
Movies and certain types of movies get prioritized for the big screen. Others, we're okay with waiting until we can catch them on Netflix or
rent it off of Vudu or something.
See them on HBO or something like that.
Yeah.
But some movies you just really need to see
on a big screen.
And
Bohemian Rhapsody was one you needed to either see on a big screen or in the best sound possible.
And we did. We saw it in a Dolby theater here locally.
It shook the theater. It was so awesome.
Sounded amazing. That movie was fantastic, start to end.
So again, Rami Malek's our choice.
So yes, he would be our definite choice.
Although I will interject and say that Christian Bale, I have heard, dove so far into the role in Vice that he kind of disappeared once they put all the makeup on. Like, he was his character. So
Christian Bale
does that kind of thing.
Is a fantastic actor.
He's a good method actor.
Yes.
So
he's good. Willem Dafoe's a good actor. Like you said, Bradley Cooper's good. Viggo Mortensen's good.
I haven't seen Viggo Mortensen in something in a very long time, to be honest. But
you may have and may not have realized it was him.
That's true.
I mean, he
and Green Book
doesn't
was
necessarily
one of those
have to look like he did in Lord of the Rings.
No, I know, but Green Book
believe me, what I saw of him in the trailers for Green Book, you wouldn't have recognized him.
But that movie looked great. All the trailers. That's on my list of definitely
looked like
gotta watch.
A fantastic story.
So,
and it is something we will eventually see. We just missed it while it was in theaters.
Although from the trailers, I might argue, is he really the lead actor in that movie? Because
based on the trailers, it seems like it's more centered around him and his role as the driver and taking care of everything.
Okay, this is going to be a terrible comparison, but in Driving Miss Daisy, was Miss Daisy the lead actress? Or it's like, is the driver the lead actor?
It depends on the focus of the movie. And based on what I saw of the trailers, the story is focused around him as the driver
I read it as the other way around.
A black performer going on a tour in the South during, the whole civil rights, and just prior to.
Exactly, though. But I thought that the other guy would be the lead actor then. And
because it's not, the story's not about him. It's about Viggo's character as the driver, the chauffeur,
it's arguable because we haven't actually seen it. So.
Yeah. Like I said, that is based off what I saw of the trailers.
Subjective things.
So it makes sense that he gets nominated as the leading actor. Okay, let's move on to actor in a supporting role. Mm-hmm. Let's see, we've got Mahershala Ali for Green Book. And he was awesome in Luke Cage.
Yes.
Adam Driver for Black Klansman. Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born. Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me? And Sam Rockwell for Vice.
Okay. We haven't seen any of those. So, my pick, and this is just purely because of the actor, is Sam Elliott. Because it's Sam Elliott. Is it frickin'?
Yeah, sure you did.
Okay, I've had a cold last week, so
potty mouth.
Pardon my slips. I'm still kind of getting over the phlegmy.
Again, all very good actors, but have not seen their movies.
I mean, I know Adam Driver's a great actor.
Haven't seen their performances in the role. So yeah, all we can really do is go with what we know about the actors themselves. And yeah, I too would have to go with Sam Elliott.
I honestly don't know if Sam Elliott's ever gotten an Oscar.
I don't either.
So I kind of want to go, I'm rooting for him.
Probably should have looked that up before the show and had that information at hand. But, we got kind of lazy.
No, again, I was sick earlier this week for days. So this is kind of, my research became less and less. Okay, moving on to the actresses. The actresses in a leading role is Yalitza Aparicio for Roma. It's the best I can say. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
Glenn Close for The Wife. Olivia Colman for The Favorite. Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born. And Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me? I will have to say Melissa McCarthy, I love her to death, but she's not going to win because she's mainly a comedic actress. And I don't think they ever get respect from the Academy, so it's not going to happen.
Again, these are movies some of I hadn't heard of until I was looking through this list. I'd never heard of Roma until I was looking through the list.
Now, I heard very good things about Lady Gaga.
The Wife or The Favorite either. So,
yeah.
I've heard, like I said before, good things about A Star Is Born. It looks like it.
I've heard Lady Gaga's fantastic in it,
and that she was, very good in it. But yeah, I adore Melissa McCarthy. I would love to see her win the Oscar.
I almost want to root for her because it's an underdog.
There have been, comedic actors that have won awards for serious roles. It is possible. It has happened. So,
yeah.
It could happen.
It could. I just don't know if it will.
Well, we'll see. But that's,
But if you were to choose somebody,
that would be my
her
choice. Yes.
Okay, we'll go with that then. Okay. Supporting actresses. Well, actress in a supporting role. The same thing. Amy Adams in Vice. Marina de Tavira in Roma. Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk. Emma Stone in The Favorite. And Rachel Weisz in The Favorite. Again, don't know The Favorite. Never seen these movies. I think Amy Adams is fantastic in everything she's in. And so...
I have enjoyed everything I have seen.
I like Emma Stone too, though. It's really hard to kind of choose. Regina King's good, but...
Rachel Weisz is a good actress as well. I mean, she was in the Mummy movies and...
Yeah.
Has done a lot of really good stuff.
I don't know. Who would you choose?
That one's kind of rough.
It's a rough balance between them.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Emma Stone too, but I think I'm really going to have to lean more towards wanting to see Amy Adams get it.
I kind of want to see Amy Adams win it too. It's okay. Amy Adams for the win. For us.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the animated
feature film.
Animated feature film.
We get all animated.
It's going to be The Incredibles 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to read who's in it because, I mean, you either know it or you don't. Isle of Dogs. Mm-hmm. Miri. Is it Miri?
Mariah?
Mariah. M-I-R-A-I. I'm not
either way,
really
I hadn't
sure.
seen it.
Ralph Breaks the Internet. Or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
This is the one we've seen more of.
This category, yes. We have seen Incredibles 2, we have seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, and we did see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I am definitely, and we both agree, I believe.
For me, this is a no-brainer.
This is a Spider-Verse.
Definitely Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was both funny, great acting, great commentary, but if you saw it in 3D in the theaters... it blew your mind.
Yeah. Incredibles 2 was good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like The Incredibles. 2
was funny.
good.
It was great.
Ralph Breaks the Internet, sequel,
super
very
cute.
good. Both of those movies, good voice acting in them, good talent.
Oh, no doubt.
But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse had, some amazing talent in it.
It had groundbreaking animation to me.
The detail and smoothness of the animation was incredible. And yes, seeing it in 3D... was mind-blowing.
And I'm sorry, but you can't pass up the commentary of Spider-Pig.
Yes.
It
Peter
was
Porker,
funny.
The spectacular Spider-Ham, makes an appearance in the movie.
And it was delightful.
And he was very, very funny.
So, yes.
But yeah, it was really good. I would love to see Into the Spider-Verse take the Oscar.
Yes. I think it just has to win. It has to. If anybody did see it,
Oh, yeah.
It was
if
great.
you saw it, you know exactly what we're talking about.
So.
Okay, next up we have cinematography. The nominees are Cold War, The Favorite, Never Look Away, Roma, and A Star is Born.
Now, again, we haven't seen these. And the one commentary I heard about the cinematography is that none of these were filmed on, state-of-the-art cameras. It was all filmed on, lower end arts kind of... it was more about the art of the cinematography than about how amazing and groundbreaking technology-wise it was. So you're looking at a very artistic...
Probably all filmed on regular analog film cameras,
yes.
Not the new modern digital cameras.
Very likely.
Film everything and store it to a hard drive.
Yeah. So, and there's something to be said about a classically filmed film.
Well, and, depending on the type of movie, if it is, more of a period piece or needs to look a certain way, going with, a traditional film camera would be the way to go. So you get that sort of grainy look, because it uses actual film. Digital, you're going to get if you've got a good digital camera, you're going to get a clean digital signal. It's going to go through, and you're not going to have the possibility of those random blemishes, on the individual frames like you do on actual film. that causes some of the grainy looks and some of the little specks that pop up on the screen, and the kind of stuff that you see in old films.
I guess Roma was actually on Netflix. That's what I just found out. But some of it was filmed in black and white, so it is that whole, cinematographers, it's all about the art. And so I don't know who I would give it to be honest. Although I guess I would veer toward Roma, just because it's unique and different, and why not?
Yeah, I've seen some of the trailers for A Star Is Born. I think I would probably lean that direction.
Yeah. You're thinking Star Is Born?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the obligatory part of the show where we need to explain if you're hearing a lot of grunting and growling.
That's not us.
It's not us.
It's our dogs.
The dogs in the floor have decided to start wrestling, and you will hear them being dorks.
Tonks and Oberon are our usual guests, and if you subscribe to Instagram, you can always go check out my Instagram and see Tonks' selfie, because I did post it this morning.
Yes, they're being very funny. Cute, and they're being playful and wrestling in the floor.
My Instagram is cowpatty_UT, like UdderTwaddle. So it's easy to find. You can see it. It also has a ton of pictures of our 20th anniversary vacation, which is mainly why I subscribed.
I don't have an Instagram account. You don't want to see me.
That's not true. People like to see people. That's why they like Instagram.
It depends on the people.
Yeah.
Some people I like to see, some people I would rather not.
Okay, so moving on. I'm going to stick my neck out in this one.
Okay.
Since you were the film person and worked in TV, cinematography made more sense, but costume design, I like design. So, costume design is the next category. The nominees are The Ballad of Buster... Hey, calm down over there. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs by Mary Zophris. Black Panther by Ruth Carter. These are designs by Mary Queen of Scots by Alexandra Byrne. Skipping to that because Sandy Powell is both nominated for The Favorite and Mary Poppins Returns, and I find that weird. Is that the same Sandy Powell?
I don't know. I would guess so.
How can you get nominated for two films in the same category, the same person? Because
you did a good job on both films. I mean,
well, okay. So this is one of those things that it's the costume design nominees are not the person being nominated, it's the film being nominated.
Yes.
It's similar to later on, you'll notice that the foreign films are not nominated by film, but by country. And I find that odd.
No, they're nominated by film. They just list the country it came from.
The country wins is the category. They're actually the ones that... That's how they judge it. They judge it by the country wins that category rather than the film.
I don't think so.
I read up on this. I'm not kidding. It's weird. It's just how they do it.
Okay,
but anyway,
we'll revisit that after the nominees.
Costume design. We're both gonna hands down on this one. You know our prediction.
Yeah, Black Panther.
It's gonna be Black Panther
all the way.
Ruth Carter just blew it away. I mean, when we saw Black Panther, my eyes popped like crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean, Black Panther's costume, was beautiful.
Not just his, but the whole community.
Yes, everything, all of the actual native costumes and native dress. Not just Black Panther's costume, but all of the
whole community.
Native costumes, clothing, the guards' outfits.
Well, just all
everything.
The mother, the sister
was beautiful. Whenever they're having, sort of the
ceremony,
with the waterfall, for him actually claiming the throne, and taking on challengers. You saw very distinct differences in the various tribes that were there.
They came up with very blended
that lived
styles.
There, yes, very specific styles and color palettes that each of the various tribes wore.
And jewelry and necklaces and everything. The costume design was incredibly detailed and delightful.
Yes, it was beautiful.
So yeah, Black Panther completely, hands down.
All the way. Next up is directing. Movies nominated: Black Klansman, Cold War, The Favorite, Roma, and Vice.
Again, I never got around to seeing BlacKkKlansman, but I honestly, that's some serious respect for Spike Lee. I like Spike Lee. He's had some great films.
Some very, very good movies, yes.
So, I kind of veering towards Spike Lee in this one. But, I don't know. Some of the other guys.
I don't know. Like I said, we've not seen those movies. I don't know who directed those movies other than, Spike Lee did, BlacKkKlansman. So, that one I can't even really guess on.
Cold War was by Paula Kowalski? I don't know how to say his name right. Favorite was Yorgos. This is going to be terrible. Lanthimos. Roma was Alfonso Cuarón. And I've seen Alfonso Cuarón's work too, so that's pretty good. Vice was Adam McKay. Not really well-known actors. Not well-known directors.
I was going to say, other than Spike Lee, this is the only one I've ever heard of.
Yeah, so I would have to say Spike Lee probably. I just think he should.
Being the only one I've ever heard of. Yeah,
I'm not saying he will, but I think he should.
I would have to go with Spike Lee then.
And then, really? Windows updates now. Moving on to documentary.
Yeah.
Nominees, and again, I haven't seen these, is Free Solo, Hale County This Morning, This Evening, Minding the Gap, of Fathers and Sons, and RBG.
Nope, I haven't seen any of those.
So arbitrarily voting by just the name of the movie. I like Minding the Gap. I think it's a great name, a great start for the film.
Could be, depending on what it's talking about.
I would think it'd be about British train system, because it's always mind the gap, mind the gap.
Could be about, the gender pay gap.
Oh, that's true. See, and that would make sense.
It could go either way. Now, I'm gonna take a guess on RBG.
A guess?
Yes.
What do you think that's?
As in one of our judges, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
I think that's what that one is.
Probably. That would be my guess.
And I have some respect for her.
And if that is, then it would be a documentary I would be interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Because she's awesome.
So, okay, we'll go with RBG. Let's go with that.
Okay.
As our prediction.
Just
completely arbitrary prediction.
Uneducated guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, and then documentary. For the short subject, you've got Black Sheep, Endgame, Lifeboat, A Night in the Garden, and Period, End of Sentence.
Okay, I've got nothing.
I'm going to go with Period, End of Sentence because it has punctuation in its subject line. In the title of the movie, it has a period.
It's got 3 periods in it.
Well, 1 word period and 1 little dot period and another dot period.
It's got 3 periods in it.
Arbitrarily, let's say that'll win.
3 periods sounds like a sporting event.
Or a terrible month. Ew. All right.
We'll move away from that one.
Far away. Move on.
Okay, let's go to film editing. BlacKkKlansman nominated, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, and Vice. This one is, for me, is a no-brainer. I mean, I've only seen 1 movie out of the list, but based off that movie I did see, even if I had seen the others, I would probably still go with Bohemian Rhapsody. It was a very, very well put together movie.
I was going to say editing, but yeah, some of the great film cuts in the movie were just smashed together, montages and
transitions,
and sometimes during the song you had a cut back to another character, and that was just delightfully funny. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I think it's entirely possible.
Well, and I mean, think of the editing going back and forth during the actual recording scene when they were recording Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, and
when he was trying to hit the high notes and the take after take after take after take, higher, higher, higher.
Mm-hmm.
It was well edited.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to go with that. Moving on to foreign language films. Again, they don't put the directors' names. They just put the name of the country in here. So Capernaum is from Lebanon. Cold War is from Poland. Never Look Away from Germany. Roma, Mexico. And Shoplifters, Japan.
Okay, because the list I'm looking at, off of ABC's Oscar website doesn't list the countries at all. It just lists the name of the movies.
Oh, see, I'm on the actual Oscar website. So we looked up different locations for different information. So I don't know. I haven't. The only one I know anything about is Roma, and that's from just briefly Googling it. And,
Nada.
Yeah. So
don't know.
Arbitrarily, I could say Roma from Mexico.
Okay, then
Might as well.
Go with
It's
Mexico.
nominated in many other places in the list, so it's got to be decent.
It's our closest neighbor. We'll go with Mexico. Sure.
All right, yep.
We'll
Support
give
your
them
neighbor.
Yes. Makeup and hairstyling.
All right. There's
Three nominees in this category.
3.
Border, Mary Queen of Scots, and Vice.
Okay. Now I, just from the trailers, will say Vice. Because of all the makeup they had him put on Christian Bale to make him look that big and accurate.
Yeah.
Amy Adams had quite a bit of makeup too on her character, so
can go with that.
I'll go with that.
Go with Vice then. Okay. Original score: Black Panther, Black Klansman, If Beale Street Could Talk, Isle of Dogs, and Mary Poppins Returns.
I'm gonna argue about Mary Poppins Returns because is that really an original score? If it's a repeat movie? Would you use...
Well, if they used new music for this movie and not recycled the music from the first movie, then yes, it's an original score.
Okay.
If it hasn't been used anywhere else, it's original.
Point taken. Yes.
It may be based off of, derivative of, kind of in the same vein, same feel, sound. But if it's original and not a repeat, then yeah.
I'm going to have to go back to Black Panther. For sure.
Yes. Yeah, the music. Because
the score was just blood-pumping fun. And it blended a lot of Afro-American cultures, and themes and drums and African culture.
In previous podcasts, we've talked about music and, what makes a good movie and talked about soundtracks and scores and how they can really enhance
and kind of make
certain scenes in movies, by giving you an upbeat tempo, to kind of pump you up, through action scenes and things.
And drama, too. It can really enhance the drama of the movie.
Yes, and the score for Black Panther did that, in my opinion. So, yeah, I would definitely have to go with Black Panther on that.
Okay, original song. Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying, in some research on original song, they qualify original song in a movie as a significant song that is a key part of a movie. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
One that really stands out in the movie.
Yeah, and it either made an impact in the movie. Like, you think of the Rocky theme or Eye of the Tiger in Rocky. That's the kind of, it's not original, but it's a musical score that means something within the movie. Just an example.
Yes.
It pushes the movie along.
I get it. Let it go.
I'm not going with that one either. Let It Go probably did win at some point. Or was nominated. All right, so the nominees are All the Stars from Black Panther, I'll Fight from RBG, The Place Where Lost Things Go in Mary Poppins Returns, Shallow from A Star Is Born, music and lyrics by Lady Gaga, and When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings from The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I really want to see that movie, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I heard it's been really good. It's on Netflix.
I'm about to say,
Cute.
I understand it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Just one of those interested.
I'd never even heard of it until it popped up on Netflix and you started going on about it. So yeah.
But music and lyrics by Lady Gaga, I'd have to say that's freaking awesome. So, Shallow.
Yeah.
I think that might win. Just because I think she should win an Oscar. I want her to win an Oscar.
It would be nice. Honestly, All the Stars, I don't recall that song from Black Panther. So, yeah, I'll go with Shallow from A Star Is Born.
Okay. I'm down with that one.
Okay, one of the biggies. Best Picture.
Best Picture.
Big category. Black Panther. Black Klansman. Bohemian Rhapsody. The Favorite. Green Book. Roma. A Star Is Born. And Vice.
I'm torn between Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody.
As am I.
Because
that's
Bohemian
a big
Rhapsody
conflict.
Is a fantastic movie. It is, it's Queen. It's iconically good. The sound mixing was fantastic. That kind of thing. And
in Bohemian Rhapsody, the casting was excellent. If you look at any of the documentaries and the extras from the movie, and or actually looked at Queen from the time periods that are, that's portrayed in the movie, the casting looks very much like the way they actually look. And yeah.
But if you're not just talking casting and best picture, you're encompassing everything about the film.
Well, I know, but I'm saying the casting was fantastic.
The casting in Black Panther was
actually,
fantastic.
Performing as Queen, in the concert scenes. I mean, it was spot on. The sound mixing, the editing, everything about that movie was incredible. And I would really like to see it win. But as you said, I'm conflicted because I would like to see Black Panther win. First off, it's, a comic book action movie being nominated for Best Picture.
And that's rare.
That does not happen very often. And that's because Black Panther was more of a groundbreaking film. With an almost entirely, African or African American cast. Mm-hmm. The story was good. The performances were good. Costuming was good.
The special effects were amazing. Mm-hmm. The action was great. All the fight
choreography, the action.
And it had a great message.
Yes.
All the way through it. I mean, even after the movie, you see people that were inspired by the movie. Mm-hmm. And I think that is the key difference between Bohemian Rhapsody and Black Panther. And that's why I think Black Panther, I would rather have it win because of the impact it's had on other people. Bohemian Rhapsody is a great feel-good movie, and yes, there is, a whole underlying, story about the AIDS epidemic at the time.
Well, that, and I mean, the foundation of Queen, which has been a big influence on people, and had a major impact on people.
And I can't fault Rami Malek for anything he's done in the movie. He embodied the character by body language and coach and vocals. He tried, and they blended it all so well together.
The 2+ hours of the movie, he was Freddie Mercury.
He was Freddie Mercury. And I think that's why the actor should win, but I don't think the full movie. I mean, I loved the movie. This is not like to put it down, but in comparison to Black Panther, I think that should win Best Picture. I just think Black Panther should win.
I would be happy if either one of them won. I do think I'm probably leaning a bit more towards Black Panther.
Okay.
And wanting to see it.
So that's our choice. Now, moving on to production design. Mm-hmm. You've got Black Panther, The Favorite, First Man, Mary Poppins Returns, and Roma. Again, I'm going to have to say Black Panther. Because the set design for their version of Wakanda was amazing. Mm-hmm. The ships that they designed were freaking amazing. Yeah, all the technology. I mean, this is, cutting edge, best in the world technology. It's still virtually sci-fi. It still fits in with the culture and the world. I mean, it's like they reverse engineered the future. Some of the ships they've got flying around Wakanda look like dragonflies. They look like the types of insects or creatures or animals you would find in the wild. The inspiration the production designers the design of the technology and the suits, the weapons, and how they integrated their actual African culture of Wakanda into the modern world with the modern technology. Mm-hmm. The whole production design was excellent. So they absolutely deserve props for their production design. Period. Definitely. Okay. Let's see. Short film was the next one. Animated short film. Mm-hmm. Animal Behavior, Bao, B-A-O, mm-hmm. Late Afternoon, One Small Step, and Weekends. Okay, I'm just going to say I have not seen any of these. Nope. I don't even know if I've seen a trailer for any of these. So I kind of feel like I have to bow out of this one because I don't even know, unless you just want to go by title. Of just which title speaks to you the most. Animal Behavior. I'll go with Animal Behavior. Just based on the title. From two cows, we're going to go with Animal Behavior. Yes. And a kitty sitting on the floor next to us. Next is... Let's see. Live action short film? Mm-hmm.
We've got Detainment. Was that Fauve, Marguerite, Mother, and Skin? Yeah, I'm back to having nothing.
I got nothing. So, slip me some skin. Maybe we'll go with that one.
Hadn't seen any of them. So I really couldn't
It's hard to say. I'm just guessing skin, just because it sounds
based on titles. I would assume that, Detainment is either about the prison system or it could be, a escapee or... I mean, if it were a documentary, I would think it was maybe something about...
No, but this is a short film.
Immigration,
no
detainment, really or something, but it's not a documentary. It's a live action short, so...
It's somebody's short film, and so it's impossible to guess at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's impossible. So, moving on. Mm-hmm. We've touched on this bit. Sound editing. Mm-hmm. Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, A Quiet Place, and Roma. Hands down, I'm saying Bohemian Rhapsody.
Definitely.
Because the sound editing involved of having actual Freddie Mercury's voice to Rami Malek's voice to back again to make it realistic to blending to... I mean, they had to go through so many layers of sound to make that flawless.
Oh, yeah. It was, again, did an excellent job. Can't fault them at all. Bohemian Rhapsody all the way on that one.
Okay.
Do you want sound mixing, the next category? Since it's basically the same nominees almost. Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, Roma, and A Star is Born.
Yeah, it's everything the same except for A Star is Born. Sound mixing is typically verbal to musical?
It's mixing all of the sound sources between, background crowds and, their singing and the instruments and... So that everything is balanced and nothing is drowned out by anything else, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Where if they're performing on stage, you can hear the vocals and the music equally well as still being able to hear the crowd in the background going bananas.
I'm gonna have to balance this out and say this one I would say Black Panther, because in my head when I'm thinking of the sound mixing, I'm thinking of the grunts and the stuff from whenever they're doing their battle challenges, and the sound of people singing, and the sound of sticks clacking, and I remember that much layers of sound and the waves and the everything being balanced so well in that movie as far as the sound goes. I just think of that.
Sorry, again, I've got to go with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
Just because of all of the performance scenes, like I said, all the mixing of the music and the vocals and the crowds and...
This one we might have to agree to disagree on this one. I'm thinking mixing, we may be on two faces on that one.
Okay.
So...
I'm going with Bohemian Rhapsody, you're going with Black Panther.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, visual effects.
Yes. This one's a good category.
Oh, this one's always a fun one. So... Avengers Infinity War, Christopher Robin, First Man, Ready Player One, and Solo: A Star Wars Story. We have seen...
Three of those.
Christopher Robin I've seen the trailers for, and I know what it's about.
Based on the trailers, the visual effects look good, but Infinity War, Solo, and Ready Player One, I think were a lot better.
First Man is the space movie. Well, the first space... Oh. The Apollo mission. No, it's not the Apollo mission. Oh my god! The first one. You know when he lands on the moon? And it's Buzz Aldrin's story, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything with space and visual effects seems to be a winner with the Academy, but I'm just going to throw that out of the wall and just say, yeah. No. That one's not winning.
I'm going with Ready Player One.
Yeah. Ready Player One, all the way. I wish it had been nominated for other stuff, but visually...
And we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Freaking awesome.
Yeah, so. Definitely going with Ready Player One for best visual effects.
Okay. Next is...
Adapted screenplay.
Okay.
We've got The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Klansman, Can You Ever Forgive Me, If Beale Street Could Talk and A Star Is Born.
So, adapted screenplay means it's adapted from original or some other, like it's either from a book.
Yeah.
And it's been converted. So, hard to say because A Star Is Born is a remake of a remake. Almost. It's been done. Only because I know a little bit about the movie. I'm going to say The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Because I've heard it's really good.
Again.
But then Black Klansman's probably going to be one of those that...
Having never seen them, I can't start to comment on how it was adapted. And if it was adapted well.
No, I don't have any commentary. But based on the categories in the films, I'm going to hope that Black Klansman wins. Just because seeing the trailers, it looks amazing and fun.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'm hoping that one wins.
Okay, well, that brings us to the last category of original screenplay. For that, we've got The Favorite, First Reformed, which I believe is its first and only nomination. First time I've seen it in the list. Green Book, Roma, and Vice.
Which one do you think?
Again, I have not seen any of them.
Based on just trailers, I'm going to hope that Green Book wins.
Having to base it off trailers, what I have seen of those movies, which is just the trailers for a couple. Yeah, I've got to go
for being an original story. It is an original story. It's not one I've heard before, which is why I'm interested in seeing it.
Well, and the story shown in the trailer is what got me interested in wanting to see the movie.
It was the story. So yes. Original screenplay would make sense.
You won't hear me complain very often about movies I didn't like because if it doesn't look like I'm going to like it, if I'm not interested, I won't see it.
Don't go watch it.
Yeah, I won't go see it. I won't spend the time or the money to go see something that I don't think I'm going to like.
Yeah.
And since I know the kind of movies I like, I'm usually pretty right about whether or not I'm going to like it or not.
Well, in the end, that concludes all of the categories.
Yes.
And as you can tell, there is complete repeats all the way across the categories. Black Klansman's been repeated, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Panther, and Roma, Star is Born.
Part of the issue we have with the Oscars is it has a lot of repeats. I mean, the same movies get nominated for like all the categories. And the actors and actresses in those movies are the ones that get nominated for Best Actor, Actress, Best Supporting, and so on. There's a very limited choice.
Yeah. And you notice they're almost always dramas or something, or deep stories, or almost always.
And close to half of them are movies that...
They're artistic films.
The average moviegoer hasn't seen or hasn't heard of.
They're not blockbuster films.
They're artsy-fartsy types, that, are, like you said, the super serious drama. And there aren't any real categories for the types of movies that the average moviegoer goes to see.
Yeah.
There's no comedy category.
Other than the cartoons, what has your teenager seen?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe the stuff with special effects, Ready Player One and Solo and that kind of thing, but...
Well, that's just for visual effects. That's all those movies ever get nominated for is visual effects.
That's all they ever get. And Black Panther might have been stuck in the visual effects if it hadn't been so outstanding.
Yeah, if it hadn't been, a landmark, groundbreaking movie, yeah.
Yeah, so, obviously props for them and that kind of thing, but I just feel like we've discussed this, we feel like there should
be more categories. I mean, when you go to, Best Buy or Walmart or wherever you go to buy your movies, the physical Blu-rays or DVDs.
The categories on Hulu and Netflix.
You find movies grouped by category, by action or drama or comedy or family.
Yeah, or sci-fi or fantasy.
Fantasy,
horror,
documentary, horror, thriller, suspense.
Yeah.
Same with, Netflix and Hulu. And if you're looking online through HBO or Stars or, Vudu, any of those, online, digital
I feel like there needs
sources,
to be...
they are all grouped by their genre.
There needs to be some kind of genre appreciation, is what I feel like that needs to be.
There should be genre categories in the Oscars. I mean, all these that you're seeing, for best movie, the best picture category typically are dramas. So
almost always.
Give that, best drama and create a category for best comedy.
Yeah, best
science fiction,
never
fantasy,
gets any
best
respect
action
with an Oscar. Comedy is one of those that, I was telling him, like, there needs to be action. There can be a sci-fi drama sci-fi fantasy horror combo.
I wouldn't lump horror in with sci-fi fantasy. Sci-fi fantasy and adventure, yeah. Horror suspense, thriller all together in the same category.
And that's because that's a whole different type of movie.
Exactly.
And
there are some really good movies out there that never get any sort of, attention from the Oscars because they're not the serious drama type.
Now, this may track back to the fact that the Oscars are nominated, all the categories and stuff is nominated by the Academy. And the Academy is a list of anonymous. They're unlisted people, who are high up in the chain of filmmaking, who are probably very respected.
They're all Hollywood insiders, directors, producers,
lawyers.
People that work in Hollywood.
People that work in film, period. And only like 4 of them have ever been kicked out of the Academy, and that's, the big people or people have done copyright issues, I forgot their names now.
Who? Talking about like Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein's been kicked out of the Academy, that kind of stuff. So from the list of people that have been kicked out, Bill Cosby was one who got kicked out. You kind of think that these are the elite of Hollywood.
Yeah.
If they're
a big name in Hollywood, like you said, Harvey Weinstein, I figure all of the heads of the studios are members.
Probably.
All of your big name
directors
and producers, Spielberg is, Scorsese
probably
is, Ron Howard is.
They can't say they are. It's like a secret society.
Yes.
Of elite filmmakers.
Yeah. You got to know the password and the handshake, or
it's like the country club of freaking nominees. So if you want them to like come down to the common man and expect them to, entertain the common man, like they really are worried about their ratings and stuff, it's not going to happen because that's not how they function.
No, they need to adapt and add in more categories that speak to the average moviegoer, not just the,
film buffs watch film buff movies. Mm-hmm. It's a like for like situation where if in comparison, if you have an artiste, they're going to respect modern art, but the common man's not going to respect modern art because it's not their thing. So it's a little hard to. It's not uncommon to believe that these filmmakers are nominating films that they like and they watch.
Well,
I don't think these people go watch blockbuster movies is the problem.
Well, that I was about to say, it's not just that. I'm sure, those people watch other categories, other genres of movies. I mean, I'll watch a good drama, but I like a good action movie. I like a good comedy. I love a good horror movie.
But it's not to say they're wrong, because...
No, and there's nothing wrong, with a, drama category.
No.
I just think there should be additional categories.
Yes.
If you're going to categorize movies based on their genre, then you should have more genre categories.
Yeah, or, separate it out and say, like, a best picture for... artistic, for filmmakers, or best blockbuster picture. They tried a category for best blockbuster picture at some point, and it was just about
I think last year.
Yeah, how much money it grossed, and it didn't really mean anything.
Popularity. And and not just additional genre categories, but more categories in general. There are a lot of people that work on these films. You've got, best director.
Yeah.
Best cinematographer.
Sound editor.
Yeah, the sound editors, get credit.
They used to have a best art direction category back in like the 90s, and they got rid of it.
And did away with it.
They don't respect the creative credit sequences anymore. And I love creative credit sequences.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
Oh yeah, Deadpool, had an incredible opening credit sequence.
And most animated features have really great, and Bond movies have great credit sequences. They need to respect the motion graphics out there. Nobody does that anymore.
Well,
why not?
And there needs to be categories like best choreography. For like
Stunt
fight choreography.
Don't get respect.
Whether it's, a hand-to-hand fight scene in, the Avengers or, in Alita, Battle Angel or anything like that. Or a
stunt
good
driving.
A good, gunfight scene, like John Wick or, Jack Reacher or, those types of films. Stunt driving, like in Baby Driver or Fast and the Furious.
Well, yeah, because without stunt doubles...
choreographing, those chase sequences and how close the cars get to each other and, the near misses you see in the movies, that's all, precisely laid out, measured, and timed
that sometimes
to
takes
keep
months
everything
of
safe.
Planning.
And I think the people that put those scenes together should get some credit.
And it's not just a director.
They should get some recognition.
It's not the special effects people either. It's the stunt
because
people.
A lot of those are practical effects.
And if you're going to have a best actor and best actress category, why can't there be a best stunt person category?
Yeah.
Best stunt people, because without the stunt people, they're not going to be able to make their character jump off a bridge because insurance is not going to let that, Julia Roberts jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
Or something. It just there's people involved that need
they help
that respect.
Sell the action of the story, so they should get some recognition and some credit.
I agree, completely.
And if you're wondering why we did an Oscar show going through all the categories for mostly movies we've never seen, that's the reason. Is we think there should be more categories. The Oscars should be revamped a bit. Modernized and
they need
corrected
to diversify
what more people go to see movies for.
Well, and if you have an entire year full of movies and an entire list of movies out there, obviously the Academy's not going to watch every single freaking movie out there, but you should have groups of people. I'm sure between
all the hundreds of members, they've seen all the movies that came out last year, but only certain. I mean, they only end up on the ballot if somebody nominates them.
Mm-hmm. And obviously somebody liked Ready Player One, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And obviously many
somebody
people
was definitely impressed with Black Panther because it got several nominations.
And I'm happy with that. So, they're maybe skirting in the right direction at this point. Slowly.
Yeah, they're getting there, but I still think there's
a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah. A lot of room for improvement. And there's, arguments that, that's, what the People's Choice Awards are for.
Yeah, because it's all about, that's about the People's Choice.
Yeah, to give credit, where credit is due for those categories. But if that's where the distinction is going to be drawn, to say, okay, well, the Oscars are going to be for the serious drama movies, and we'll just let the People's Choice Awards worry about everything else, then the People's Choice Awards need to carry a bit more weight than they do.
Yeah, I agree.
You see movie trailers where they announce, Academy Award winner, blah, 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 and Golden Globe winner, so-and-so, then start giving them credit, People's Choice Award winner, for, this or that.
Isn't there a category of person that's won, like, a Grammy, Tony, Oscar... you know what I mean? Like
there is, and
they run the gamut.
I forget what that is called now.
There's a type of person that's done all of those, but none of the categories in that group of I've done it all is a People's Choice Award.
Well, again, yeah, because
it's all about being recognized by the
it doesn't
genre.
Carry the weight that an Oscar or a Golden Globe or a Tony or
it's
a
being
Grammy
recognized by the Academy, by the elite of your peers. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they like me. They really like me. That's what you get when you get an Oscar. They like you. It's not the people like you.
And if
they recognize your talent.
If you look across the little pond over, to the UK, they have their BAFTA Awards, which is the British Academy, of Film and Television, blah, blah, blah. They nominate a lot of those movies. You'll see, comedies nominated and action movies nominated.
And that's the difference. They do.
And yeah, you would think that, being British, they would be a little pickier about and, almost snobbish. But no, they are actually a lot more, open-minded about what they give out BAFTAs for.
I mean, well, it's the 91st Oscars right now. So maybe they're just getting a bit old. But the BAFTAs have only been around for 72 years. So maybe they're a little more modern.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A little more modern by 20 years.
They're like the millennials of the Oscars.
Millennials of the award show.
Or maybe they're just, younger. Because
I'm not saying that I want them to expand out into like, MTV, movie awards categories, like best on-screen kiss and, stuff like that. No.
Well, if you want to compare the BAFTAs properly to the Oscars, this year, the BAFTAs were in early January. So their winners have already come out.
Mm-hmm.
So their best film was Roma. So Roma got complete respect as best film in the BAFTAs. So, again, the favorites won for lead actress and outstanding British film. Rami Malek won for Bohemian Rhapsody. So I have high hopes for him in the Oscars.
Well, yeah, this year a lot of the BAFTAs, were the same,
Mahershala Ali won for Green Book.
Same nominations, but you do see, like I said, a wider range of nominations.
Yeah, typically you do. I mean, they've got different animated short winners, different British short films.
Mm-hmm.
They adapted screenplay was Black Klansman for the BAFTAs. So maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's just the kind of thing that's just the kind of year it's been. That there hasn't been that many outstanding. Although I will say, animated feature film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won a BAFTA. So,
there you go.
Respect.
Good on them.
And Black Panther won for visual effects. So, sound, Bohemian Rhapsody. Hey, the BAFTAs got it right. See? So maybe the Oscars will get it right. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. So you have our picks for the Oscars. We'll find out if we were right or just completely out of our minds wrong.
We'll see. But we can always post the results on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to Facebook and you type in UdderTwaddle, you'll find us. You'll find our cow image.
Yeah.
And we're there.
If you think, if you agree with our choices, leave a comment. If you think we're,
if you think we're out of our minds,
wrong and out of our minds, leave a comment.
Let us know.
Be polite about it. But
be respectful. I mean, please be respectful to other people. It's online. Yes, it's anonymous, but please, we just don't want that kind of feedback. I mean, I don't mind negative feedback.
We're giving you our opinion. Your opinion is welcome. Mm-hmm. Everyone, has one. Everyone is allowed to have one.
We respect you. Have a little respect.
Yep.
Just saying. All right. Well, that's it for this week on the UdderTwaddle Podcast.
Yeah, I think we've done about as much damage as we can.
Oh, I could do more damage. Wait, maybe we'll save that for a game.
Like I said, I think we've done about as much damage as we can.
We'll see what we come up with next week. We could do some damage.
Yeah.
What's your damage?
Physical damage or mental damage?
We'll figure that out and let you know.
Sounds like a plan.
And we'll see you next week.
Have fun.
Bye.